Wyatt. We're ready for the tip here. 11 a.m. start time in Lexington, Kentucky. It is going to be a fun game today. We're going to tell you about why the crowd is so loud and why are there so many. What are they, about 12 years old?
10. Yeah, 10. No, yeah, they're all fifth graders.
Fifth graders.
Yeah, they're about 10, 11.
I had 3 of those run through the household. You're just about to get there.
They are ready.
Ryan Howard's first shot is a 3, and she drains it. Wow, she is so good.
Well, that's exactly what we have wanted to see out of Kentucky for a long time and for several years now, is getting off to a fast start. They've struggled with that in years past, but over the last couple of games, that's what we've really seen Kentucky be able to do, is get out of the gates very quickly and knock down some shots early to give them a good bit of confidence. Interesting
matchup as Kentucky goes with McKinney on Phillips there, and she misses a shot high off the glass. Here comes Kentucky, one and done for the 49ers.
Great screen by Tatiana Wyatt to get Amanda Pascal open, and then she rolled to the basket. That's exactly, she was there for the offensive rebound.
That's one thing Kentucky would like to see, is finishing at the rim better, as they missed yet another layup.
We'll see Charlotte mix it up a little bit. They'll do some zone defense. They'll do a little bit of man-on-man. We'll see what they throw at Kentucky a couple times here, especially if Ryan Howard can knock down some outside shots. Sabrina Haines, great three-point shooter. That may shoot them right out of the zone.
They're in that 2-3 zone. Kentucky has seen that quite a bit this year. As you said, teams have really tried to make them beat them with that outside shot, and they haven't been able to do it on a consistent basis until the last couple of games.
Kentucky's a team that lost their best three-point shooter, one of the best in school, with Macy Morris. So now they're really, teams are testing them to see who can really pull the trigger for Kentucky and be consistent.
Wildcats taking their time. McKinney steps back from 3, and she knocks down. They're going to say she was on the line, but it's like long jump shot by McKinney. So Kentucky off to a quick start in this game. 2 for 4. They missed that layup.
Kiki McKinney's the young lady who has definitely started to really gain some confidence on the offensive side of the ball. She's got a great motor, and she does a lot of things really well for Kentucky, but you don't often see her show up in the stat sheet. A lot of points, but we've really started to see her get very comfortable, as evident by that shot right there.
49ers not a great three-point shooting team. You're going to see them mostly drive to the basket, shooting under 30% from beyond the arc. Pascal's open. She'll drive into the paint. 3 green jerseys get around her, so she kicks it out, and Sabrina Haines knocks down to 3. So they collapse the defense out to the wing, and you get a 3.
It started with Amanda Pascal she faked the pass to the corner. The defense bit. Then she was able to drive in, draw defenders, and Sabrina Haines not only was open, but she was open because she improved her position. That means you can't stay stationary.
Maybe another 3 is long, but rebound comes off to Pearson, 6'3" junior. She's going to have a tall task on the inside. Pearson averages just 3.5 rebounds a game. Again, another turnover as Mariah Linney, the 5'9" junior, moves that one out of bounds. She was expecting someone to cut the basket.
So watch here what we're talking about. She drives, draws the defense, but you see Sabrina at the bottom of your screen move from the corner up to the wing, and that's what she's doing. That's called improving your position, so that 2 things. One is that you can get away from the defense, but the other is that your offensive counterpart can find you.
Ryan Howard makes it look so easy. She's off to another great start. 2 for 2 from the field. And in the first, almost 4 minutes of the game, Kentucky leads it 10-0. 0 for 3 from the field is Charlotte to start the game.
They're so cute. And now you see them as young women here playing at one of the highest levels in women's basketball. I think a lot of hard work went into, as a 5th grader, I'd love to know how much time they spent in the gym at that age. I'm sure it was a lot.
So interesting to see how this offense runs now after Coach Consuegra called that timeout after the tough start by Charlotte, and just 6 seconds left on the clock, and Phillips is still 24 feet away. Long 3-pointers, no good, but they run down the rebound in the corner.
we just haven't seen Charlotte really get a good, efficient offensive possession. They've thrown the ball away. They've gotten some really contested shots there, so you have to credit Kentucky's defense for that, but really struggling to get anything going offensively.
Lenny finally hits her third try from 3, and she knocks one down, so Charlotte's on the board, 10-3, 6 minutes to play here in the first. So Kentucky really contesting shots, not just blocking it, but changing the shots is just as good as blocking, as another 3 is knocked down by McKinney.
Kiki McKinney's 2 shots have come from distance. So that shows you that she's got range, number 1, but number 2, how she can really spread the floor.
You know what the perfect version of a stretch 4, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, and she and Tatiana Wyatt both have the green light to shoot that. And that's why, because you've got to be able to stretch a defense, and now they've got to make some real decisions about how to guard you as a player.
Another great steal inside by Kentucky. Another 3. Ryan Howard knocks it down. And Kentucky's off best start of the season, 16-3 in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Boy, everything's working for Kentucky on the offensive end.
Kentucky really coming together at the perfect time because they've got some huge games coming up.
Big games coming up in the month of December, and that's what you want to see out of any team is that you see marked improvement. Look at Kiki McKinney like a point guard out here.
And getting down on the floor and saving it. Howard will take it in herself and can't get it to fall, but she'll go to the free throw line after Height fouled her on the way up.
I love everything about that with Kiki McKinney from start to finish. That on-ball defense, like a point guard, like playing that like a 1 out at the top of the key. And then go take it the other way, gets the ball taken away from her, but she's willing to get on the floor and get after it. Play rough and physical and get her teammate to the line. Really impressive.
So Kentucky wholesale changes. Blair Green enters the game along with Jada Roper and Anya Galibo. Matthew Mitchell will use his bench judiciously throughout the game. He doesn't care.
Well, and Charlotte now coming in with Jasmine at 6'3", so bringing in a little size here that may change what they do offensively and trying to get some things going in the.
And Kentucky really only has 5 players on their bench.
Right. I mean, they've got injuries that have hurt, and then Chastity Patterson, though we've talked about her throughout the season. She'll be eligible for that Cal game. At point guard, she's going to give them a huge boost as they head into SEC play.
Again, just pestering defense by Kentucky. And air by Charlotte, and here comes the Cats. Nice defense there by Lenny as Howard had to go back and pick up the loose ball. Boy, extra pass gets Roper open for a 3 and just a little hard off the back iron. Jasmine Harris grabs that loose ball, and here comes the 49ers. Baseline jumper is good. Nice shot there that's put in by Jensen. Octavia Jet Wilson had 19 versus Richmond. She's probably their best shooter. She shoots 48% from the field.
Yeah, get her the ball. I mean, at this point, you're desperate for points. You got to go with who can give you some points. Really haven't seen Jade Phillips really get too involved in their offense either, and only 5 points to show for it.
McKinney turns around for the free throw line, wide open, and she knocks down the jump shot. What a great start by Kentucky. 7 of 10 for the field. Harris, a little running one-hander is no good. Come the Wildcats, 1 and done. Roper's shot is short. Right there to grab again is Harris.
Not a great shot for Jada Roper in that situation. I mean, you like that runner, but you like it in the lane. You like it when you're a little closer.
Whoa. Blair Green showing her size advantage over Lenny and blocking that shot and taking it out of the air. Howard the other way, shows her strength as she drops it in, and she'll have an opportunity for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
Blair Green just has those long arms. She's got such great length. She's not incredibly tall, but she's got some really good length, and that got them going the opposite way. There's not much the Charlotte team's going to be able to do with Ryan Howard. I mean, she's already shown you that she can knock down those outside shots. She's put the ball on the floor, driven to the hole, gotten herself to the free throw line.
And she's got 13 points already. I'll tell you what, there is going to be some battles in the paint now. Jasmine Harris, the 6'3" sophomore from Charlotte. Kentucky counters with their 6'3" senior Cole. So watch inside as those two go at it with each other. Harris steps out, 17-footer, no good.
All right, well, she's showing she's got some range there as well, too.
Trying to save it is Charlotte and just knocking it out of bounds. Jet Wilson. Octavia tried to keep it in bounds, but it hit the sideline, so that'll be a turnover to Kentucky. Tatiana Wyatt also in the game for the Cats. Interesting lineup that he has on the floor here. Without two of his stretch players, and Ryan Howard and Kiki McKinney both on the bench now. Great. Charlotte stays in that 2-3. Kentucky goes to the middle, and Nene can't pull the ball off her hands, and here comes Charlotte running. This is Phillips. A nice pull up there from about 8 feet.
Well, that's a pack to see Nene Cole rein in, because that was a really nice job by Tatiana Wyatt to get that ball, wrap it around the defense. She had a man on her backside, and Nene's really got to bring that in. Got to handle that.
Blair Green speared her for body, couldn't get it to go. Cole grabs the rebound, but they're going to say she was tied up.
Quick
whistle right there. Brian Hall underneath made that call. Meadow Overstreet. Carlina Tobin, other officials for tonight's game. A beautiful day here in Lexington, Kentucky. Kind of fun playing these matinees.
Yeah, it's something a little different, but a great opportunity for these schools. Charlotte's doing one of these education games as well. Getting a great opportunity to get some kids on their campus. We saw Harris take a jump shot. Now we see her make a nice move on the block.
Wide open, and here's what we talked about, the size, being able to stretch the court. Wyatt knocks three.
Well, that's a scenario, like I say, Kentucky's offense becomes incredibly dangerous when they can step out, when your bigs can step out and knock down shots like that.
Sabrina Haines just a tick late, and she fouls McMillan out front. Kentucky's now 5 of 6 from beyond the arc.
Well, look, this is Jada Roper driving and dishing, and you're dishing to your post deep in the corner. I can tell you that's one of the hardest, if not the hardest place on the floor to try to shoot. And Tatiana Wyatt show you, not only does she have range, but she's got touch.
You.
Are you kidding me? Listen, I promise you, I was never caught in the corner taking a three-point shot. That's coming from the top of the key for me.
So a nice tap back to give them a fresh clock. So Phillips very quiet today, just 2 points. Harris with 23, 1 on the shot clock. Lenny can't get the shot away as the shot clock. So great defense by Kentucky there. Really no opportunities for a shot by Charlotte.
Well, they've just done such a nice job of disrupting what they want to do. They haven't been able to get into any kind of flow out of their half-court sets.
So Kentucky gets Howard back in the game, and for Charlotte, they bring Phillips back as well. So you kind of know where the ball's going at the end of this 20 seconds, which is left on the clock. It'll be in the hands of number 10 for Kentucky. 15 seconds as Pascal spins it over the top. She can take it all the way down herself. Double clutches, and she's fouled on the way up by McMillan. So Kentucky does not hold for the final shot. Kind of like that. You get an opening, go.
Yeah, go. Well, she had it, too. And you may get another look at it here and be able to see she just had a lane. You got to take it. When you're a lefty, especially, she had a lane. Let's see Tatiana Wyatt there.
Beautiful.
Just clear for her. She had a man on her backside. You see as Tatiana gave her a high five, she smiled knowing, hey, just cleared out some space for you, kid. Pascal
1 of 2 from the free throw line.
That's that's when you know it is just not going to be your day for Charlotte.
So 5 seconds. Howard will fire herself off the back
look
iron.
at her.
Rebound is good by Wyatt at the buzzer. That's following a shot.
That's working hard is what that is. That's great court awareness. Nice job by Tatiana Wyatt.
Wow, Christy, take us to break and give us the play-by-play.
Look at this. That's a shot I'll let Ryan Howard take all day, every day. But you got to get that shot off. You got no time to bring that down. That's really just kind of that tip drill you work on sometimes. But great job by Tatiana Wyatt. To know that we're not going to shy away from playing really good competition.
Double-digit scores for them. They have 4. They won that tournament in Puerto Rico, beating Boston College and Tulane. They also beat Wake Forest earlier in the year, so they're 2-0 in the ACC. Too bad they're a Conference USA team. Another 3 is knocked down by the Cats, and wow.
Well, Sabrina Haines is somebody you need to keep an eye on because she is an excellent shooter, and Matthew Mitchell has said that in terms of shooting in its purest form, she nails it. He says, you know, listen, from start to finish, if you want to know or learn how to shoot, you should watch and model yourself after Sabrina Haines. So she had a little bit of a rough start to the season, really more than anything, just settling in. She was a transfer, that she had an injury, so several different things that were kind of affecting Sabrina, that now she's really gotten into the flow.
Boy, shot clock was down to 1. And a great play by Haines and Pascal out front. Boy, just fantastic defense by the Cats today.
Great job not fouling. That's what you don't want to do, is bail a team out that late in the shot.
This is the first game versus a ranked opponent for Charlotte since they played Miami back in 2016. So a big game for them.
It is a big game, and they know it. And again, that's why, you know, you come here, everybody's really turning their attention to January.
Turnaround 3 in the corner is no good by Howard. They're now 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. Still hitting at 66% clip. Inside, they're going to call a foul on Wyatt as Maddie Moore in the game, a 6'3" sophomore.
Well, this will show you how well Kentucky is playing defense. That's only the second team foul for Kentucky this half. So really just with that, a lot of great movement, moving their feet, beating Charlotte to the spot.
Maddie Moore, 54.5% free throw shooter. She misses the first. 6 overs for Charlotte. She misses them both. And run down, but can't hold on to the ball as Lauren Halley in the corner. Senior. So Pascal will bring it up for the Cats.
Oh, beautiful.
Can she finish? And she does. I mean, one of the problems for the Cats was little chippies, but Wyatt's able to put it in with on the left side with the left hand.
Kiki McKinney getting the ball in the middle of that zone, driving on the defense, draws the defender. Nice bounce pass to Tatiana Wyatt.
Defense so good by the Wildcats. Hartley gets it back out to Linney, but inside of 10 seconds again on the clock. Linney drives into Pascal, and they're going to call the charge. And that is one thing that Matthew Mitchell harps on every practice, and Kentucky does it to perfection.
He believes that there's no reason why someone shouldn't be able to do that exactly every single game. This is a matter of positioning. Amanda Pascal watching the ball, and then watch her slide over and get in position outside of that circle. Willing to take the contact. I've said it before, I say it a lot on our broadcast, Jeff, if taking a charge, you have to be willing. You know, it might hurt. You're going to take some contact, you're going to fall on the floor, it can hurt. You got to be willing to be able to do that, sacrifice your body a little bit.
You won't see many straight line drives without someone giving up their body. for Kentucky. And boy, look at the body control by Howard as she took the lead and still able to get the shot away, and no foul call.
No foul, and I'm okay with that, actually.
Yep.
That's a situation where, because, you know, honestly, in some situations that foul could have gone the other way. It could have been on Ryan Howard. So the no call there, I'm fine with that, because you see a player, Ryan Howard, that can play through that contact and is okay with playing through it.
So Phillips saved that out of bounds, but saved it in under her basket to Kentucky. 8 turnovers now for Charlotte.
Great
nice pass, and Pascal can't finish. Those are those little shots again that we talked about here. Here's Wyatt with the left hand, and that slide for him.
Well, when Amanda Pascal got that rebound, I saw Kara Consuegra just take a huge, big breath out. Like, you got to be kidding. Just getting beat to balls like that is really hurting Charlotte.
McMillan just holding the ball all the way out by the K at half court. 10 seconds again on the shot clock. Now she drives the lane. Oh, wow, she got that one to go.
Well,
that
physical play started out front. That started at the top of the key with Amanda Pascal being really physical with her on-ball defense. And then there, just a great drive, and Tatiana Wyatt just not quite quick enough to get over there to help.
Moore with that secondary screen frees her right down the lane, and she gets all the way to the basket before foul. That was a nice body control by her to put it in. McMillan averages just over 2.5 points a game. Now Roper will come into the game for Pascal. So Cats up by 2 dozen, and Matthew Mitchell once more. Close to the 6-minute mark here in the first half. Roper spins it over and kicks it back out. McKinney's been on the money from outside. Shot clock again running down. Roper a little too much one-on-one dribbling. Dribbles out of bounds.
She had Anya Galibo on the block. She called for a screen as the shot clock getting down right there. Would have been great to see her dump that ball into her teammate down on the block and let Ogechi make a move.
Inside as she has.
It's a good take. We've seen her twice now, and I like it. It's a nice move. Got that nice hook shot look to it.
And Roper didn't even move on that.
No,
straight up and straight through. Harris inside is a nice little surprise with 4 points. There she has it again, and they're going to call a charge. You've got to know where you are on the court, and Harley runs right in there, and again Kentucky takes the charge. And she made the pass, but you got to stop.
That's right, and Anya Galibo, you got to make a decision at some point as you the play happening and it coming toward you. You got to decide what are you going to do. Are you going to go with the pass? Or are you going to make a decision? Ogechi made a decision to stand her ground, and it paid off.
Kenny drops it inside for Anya Galibo. Can't get up to fall, but battles inside with the rebound, and they say it hit the baseline. The timeout on the floor with just under 5 to play. Kentucky has had their way, shooting 58% from the field, 66% from the three-point arch, and they lead at 38-14.
There are a lot of things you give up and sacrifice, and sometimes being home for the holidays is one of them.
Coach Elsie, second stint here at UK. She's a wonderful teacher, great player. So again, Charlotte waiting and waiting for the perfect shot, and the shot clock inside of 10 again. It's like a broken record.
A mismatch there for Charlotte.
Out to the guard spot, lets the bigs take control, and it's rebound to Kentucky going back the other way. You know, the amazing stat here is Charlotte's actually out-rebounding Kentucky 12-11.
Well, and a lot of that is coming from the fact that Kentucky's not missing many shots.
Yep.
So there's not an opportunity for Kentucky to get many rebounds. Here's Emma King. That's what she does. Shoots three-pointers.
And she had to then second left on the shot clock when she got it in her hands. Boy, nice passing there.
Really nice.
That's just a fast break that's gone in practice every week.
And Charlotte's, they can run. They can score in transition. They're good in transition. They just have not had that opportunity today. That's how you run it to perfection.
Yep, beautiful touch pass to Harley for the finish. Kentucky's been stuck on 38 for a bit now. Kentucky hasn't scored in almost 3 minutes.
Let's take another look. This is a matter of filling the lanes and making sure that you know where the ball is.
One bounce.
It's perfect.
That ball touched the floor one time from free throw line to bucket.
So those fast breaks, like that's a matter of spacing.
Roper has to fire up a long three, and that's no good on iron. 3 minutes to play here in the first half. And there's the defense that creates offense. Howard's going to take it from the left side. Drops it in, thought she was fouled. Howard's got 17.
This is where I say sometimes Ryan Howard is underestimated, and that's on the defensive end. She really is incredibly smart as a player with a ton of IQ in terms of being in the passing lanes and really anticipating. She's a great offensive player for sure, but she really does have a total all-around game.
Chrissy, to me, when you think of the great players all time, men's and women, a lot of them were great defenders as well. Michael Jordan, one of the best defenders, right? I mean, Bill Russell, great defender. Nice little short jump shot there. Valerie Still, a defender here. She owned the paint while she was here.
Well, you'll hear a lot of coaches say, what good does it do if you score 20, but your
opponent scores 25?
22, yeah. I mean, it doesn't do you any good. So, yeah, Ryan Howard's the type of player that's far too good.
At that time, Jasmine Harris used her body to create a little bit of space between her and Andi Galibo and dropped in the short jump shot.
We've seen a couple of good things out of her today. Scoring a couple of different ways. 6 points for her so far.
Inside of 2 minutes, Kentucky drops it into Andi Galibo. Short jumper with the left hand, no good. Howard tried to tip it, I couldn't. Here we go. Here's Phillips, pulls up from 15 and no good. Oh, a good block out there.
Yes.
Andi Galibo had Harris on her hip.
Oh, had Emma King wide open coming to the top.
Howard will drive it herself inside, but can't get it to beat her man, which was Jade Phillips.
Well, and I think Ryan just needs a little bit of a break. So I think they'll probably, one of these subs getting ready to come in for her over on the sideline. I think that just is showing you, needs to get her legs back under her.
Playing about 2 minutes here without a stoppage. Again, Phillips uses her body to knock Jada Roper to the floor and then hits the short jump shot. Matthew Mitchell's going to ask the official.
Yeah, what's up with that, he said. But I like the fact that Charlotte is really trying to assert themselves on the defensive or on the offensive end now. They've really struggled to get anything going at all. Take another look here and see. Get the drive going here. It's a good no call.
Yeah, I thought so too. She didn't extend her arm. They're going to let you have as well for Kentucky's Howard.
Okay, well, I thought perhaps,
yeah,
I thought perhaps he'd sit her, but no.
Play through it. You're the best. McKinney open from three again. That's a little too hard. Second difference in the shot clock and the game clock. Phillips says, I don't care. I'm coming down and putting this one up.
Well,
and she gets the shooter's roll.
That's really what Charlotte have to have. Points quickly. And so we've seen that they have had very little success setting up their offense in a half-court set. So if you can run and gun, that's exactly what they need to do.
Phillips and Harris, 6 apiece, are your leaders for Charlotte. 17 for Ryan Howard as the clock now hits 10 seconds. Haines out front. McKinney waiting for someone to move. 5 seconds. Here's Howard. Long three.
Oh,
no good, but they're going to call the foul.
My goodness.
Right on, and she just misses, but Jada McMillan, Jada got him maybe on the elbow.
Well, that's so tough if you're Charlotte. My goodness. 0.7 on the clock to foul.
At 82% free throw shooting.
Yeah, on a three-point shot.
And this is short. You can tell she's gassed.
Yeah, I believe she is. Just needs a break for a quick second. That's how it is sometimes, in basketball. I said, I'll never forget. For me, always playing those first 2 minutes was brutal. Just trying to get your lungs warmed up, everything ready to go, your muscles firing and everything. You do that in your warm-ups, but something about game action, those first could really be brutal. And once you got past that, you were all good.
So Howard hits 2 of 3, and Kentucky has doubled up Charlotte 44-22. But Christy, those first 5 minutes was a blitzkrieg for Kentucky.
Offensive explosion for the Cats, which is exactly what if you're Matthew Mitchell, you want. Right out of the gate, coming on very, very quickly, knocking down shots. They look so efficient and look so good on the ball. They're singing to everything. I said, and they actually, I tell you what, all the adults are enjoying watching them because they're having so much fun. But yeah, what a great environment.
Get a couple fans out of this.
Hey, and listen, it's perfect. It's an opportunity. Yep. They all did a campus tour before they came to the game, and they need to get a taste of what a college campus is like and what all this looks like, knowing that this may be their future.
A good defense, but Kentucky gets it inside to Wyatt. She puts it in. It's Kentucky's press. Charlotte's got to get it in. They can't. Howard with the steal. She can't get it to fall. And they're going to get another one here. Sabrina Haines jumps right in passing lane and takes it away. So Kentucky gets 2 steals in 30 seconds.
Well, this is exactly what we saw out of Charlotte early in the first half. Was these first couple of possessions, they just really struggled to kind of get into the flow of the game and understand what level Kentucky was playing at.
Nice defense here on this possession by the 49ers. Kiki McKinney, the turnaround is no good. Lard, and 49ers trying to run it up the court. She said they've got to score in transition. Kentucky has got those quick hands. They forced 12 turnovers in this game already. Make it 13. As if on cue. Pascal is going to try to take it all the way up and under, and that's not the smart thing to do again at 6'3", and Pearson blocks that shot.
Well, in some ways, anticipating a foul that you didn't get.
Yep. And then Wyatt's able to stand underneath and take the charge. Jen Wilson and Harley into the game quickly for the 49ers.
Kara Consuegra doesn't agree with that call at all. I'd have to go back and take a look at it. To be honest with you, I'm not sure that I was paying a lot of attention to that point on the floor. She said there's no way. Shocking, a coach would say that, right?
Boy, bad there by McKinney. Just the 3rd turnover for the Wildcats, and that's going to lead to an easy bucket for the 49ers. Left-handed layup there is by Harley.
If you're Charlotte and you're Kara Consuegra, what you want to see here is no quit in your team. You want to see them come out and have some intensity. You want to see them get something like that going. Transition buckets, scoring quickly.
Harley's got 4 points in her 10 minutes, so this game so far from her. In Kentucky, shot clock down to 10. Sabrina Haines double team. She gets it away to Wyatt. Straight down the chute she goes, and I'm going to say that ball was tipped. It never hit the rim, so turnover Kentucky, shot clock violation. Wyatt got caught underneath the basket. She went up to shoot. She was right underneath the cylinder. Not quite the angle you can put through.
No, and the first trip for Kentucky offensively, incredibly efficient. Since then, really sloppy.
Yep. In this situation, Christy, as you say, a little sloppy, but how do you keep, you're winning, you're handily ahead. I know you've got a whole half to play here, but, it's almost, you got to keep yourself in the game, right?
Oh, there's no question that there is a real mental focus that has to happen and a mental toughness that you got to play through here when you think you can just sort of rest. You want to keep that intensity level high, and it's not because you're trying to beat a team by 60 or 80 points. It's because you have to play for making yourself better and getting yourself to a place where you're ready to go come January when it's league play time. And you've got to be bringing it every second of every play.
Here's Phillips, who's held to just 6 points in the game. She wears number 5. She's the best player for Charlotte. Now under the basket as the shot clock winds down. Lenny, long three. It's good from the corner.
Saw her in the first half and looked good.
Matthew Mitchell's seen enough. He said, look, we got to take a timeout, regroup. And he yells at the girls, come on, let's go. Let's take a seat. So Charlotte's cut into the lead, 46-27 now. So a good start to the second half for the fours. They go up against number 7 Baylor tonight at 8.
Yeah,
some of the other games. Really
great games that if you want to see some women's basketball at the highest level, be sure to tune in to all of those games. You won't be disappointed.
Amanda Pascal takes it right to the rack and lays it. Kentucky goes to the press.
Only 3 points for Amanda Pascal, but she's somebody that really can be very dangerous for Kentucky on the offensive end. She's had a couple of games where we've seen bits and pieces of that.
On call, all our players in the court, gets the rebound. So Pascal and Roper working in tandem at the guard. It's a big lineup for the Cats, especially inside. Howard, Wyatt, McKinney. Howard that time trying for a foul, didn't get it. Jet Wilson ahead of everyone, and she lays it in, and Pascal with the late foul. And that's one of those that you just can't, if you're going to foul, they cannot make the bucket. Coach used to always say, no Charmin foul.
That's right, that's right. Well, we've seen 2 adjustments that Charlotte has made coming out from halftime. One of those is that they want to get out and run. Let's go. They're pushing the tempo and really trying to score in transition. The other is on the defensive end. They are really limiting Kentucky's drives. They're taking away the lane that Kentucky had in the first half to really be able to get to the basket. Some big things happen.
The crowd trying to get behind their Wildcats here as Charlotte has eaten into this lead. Inside of 20 points now.
That's what happens when that many 5th graders scream at one time.
Sugar might be kicking in from the snow cones and everything else they've been eating up there. Blair Green will go to the free throw line, and she was fouled on that drive to the basket. And we're going to get our timeout on the floor. So Blair Green will be heading to the free throw line as the Wildcats lead it over Charlotte 48-29.
Says, I think she's the best player on campus. So take that, Ashton Hagans. You got Cal talking about, hey, listen, he's the best point guard in the country. Show me someone better. Show me someone does what he does any better. And that Ryan Howard, obviously, in all seriousness, a great guard, but a different guard in that she is an incredible player that can play any position on the court. You can put her anywhere. You can put her in at a 4 or 5, and she'll make something happen. And with her size at 6'2", really has the ability to be able to get on the block and make some moves and make some things happen. But such a gifted player, Ryan Howard is. So fun to watch.
Another turnover. Blair Green will bring it into the forecourt for the Wildcats. 16 turnovers now. Blair Green with the left hand, can't get it to go. Tipped out. Ryan Howard, as if on cue, puts it in and the foul. You know, I'm not sure about this, but I think it was Pat Summitt, who was one of the first coaches that brought men in to practice with the ladies.
Yes.
Right? I would love to see Ryan Howard go down and practice with the men here at Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Listen, she'd give them a run for their money, but here's what I love about it is that is a right there that a lot of players, one of 2 things would happen. You'd either turn the ball over or that shot would never go in. So she has such great control of that ball. And I said, I think it's all in those hands sometimes, too, where she just has such really great hand control with that ball that is really, really fun to watch.
Well, Kentucky, there was a great timeout by Matthew Mitchell. His team has a little spurt since then. Great defensive play there as the ball goes out of bounds. There's been some great athletes that have played here on the women's side. We've talked about them quite a bit. The Leah Wises and PJs and Valerie Still, obviously, who practiced and played against the guys around here. So,
yeah,
good lineage here.
Victoria Dunlap and Nadia Mathis and Michaela Epps and so many players that's exactly what.
How good was Adia? Huh?
Oh, she's so good. But that's what you got to do. You got to play against people who are stronger and faster more athletic. That's how you get better. You have to challenge yourself, and that's something that all of these teams want to do at this level.
Anya Galiba almost made a basket for Charlotte as she defended that, but right there to grab it is Harris and lay it up and in. Kind of a crazy 30 seconds of play there.
Well, I just like the fight that I see out of the 49ers. They just haven't quit. They're still trying to push. They're still trying to score in transition.
Well, you know, we just mentioned two ladies, one in Valerie Still, the other in Michaela Epps, whose brothers played key roles here. Art Still, of course, on the football team, and Anthony Epps. Right?
Her dad, yes. Yep. Anthony's dad, yep.
Yes.
Michaela's dad,
yeah.
yep. So,
and
yeah.
Both of them, a brother and dad, but learning and playing against them, you know?
Oh, listen, I don't know. I mean, I think they had a really great advantage as far as that goes. But sometimes you want to think, okay, Dad, I'm making a name for myself, so I'm going to need you to back off a little bit on that. And,
yeah, but man, you know, Art gave Valerie that drive.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And Anthony gave Michaela that drive.
Michaela was one of those players here at Kentucky that was so proud about wearing Kentucky on her chest. Yeah, and it had so much to do with that. You're exactly right. Being born and raised in Kentucky, and then having a dad here that
was such a great player, national champion.
So much success. So, and really, that's what you want. Kentucky kids that stay home, that are so proud to wear that jersey, just like Blair Green right now, you know, from right here in Kentucky in Harlan County. Emma King, Kentucky kid.
Oh, nice give and go right there. And Anya Galiba finishes.
Great movement without the ball.
Nice pick up there by Hythe as she sprints down the baseline and comes up and makes the play. Kentucky's defense really good. Again, deep in the shot clock. 3 seconds. Hythe's going to drive into the paint. And no good shot. Another rebound for Anya Galiba. The Charlotte team averaging 69 points a game in their first 7. Way below that here as they just have 31. Roper open from 3. High arcing shot is no good. Anya Galiba gets up and gets the rebound over the much bigger Jasmine Harris at 6'3".
That's what will often happen with that big high arcing shot, is it's going to bounce high up off of the rim.
Haines hits that shot way down and thought she was fouled. No call, but it's bucket. And Haines the steal as Harris started to put that on the floor. Got to keep those balls high when you're big.
Great crossover.
Oh.
I like what Sabrina Haines did there, though, on that fast break. She knew she didn't have numbers. She slowed up to wait for her teammates and really try to, instead of pushing and forcing the action where you may or may not get a foul call there, she waited on her teammates. Very smart.
Well, the Wildcats had such a great start. 29 points in the first quarter alone. They've outscored Charlotte in every quarter. That's the big lead. So a minute left here in the third. We'll go over the timeline. We do. Hythe left open, can't get. Blair Green runs down a loose ball. Charlotte's back in that 2-3 zone, so nice pick up there, open again from 3. And this time she splashes it, Roper. Kentucky again extends that lead to doubling up on Charlotte, 62-31. 8 seconds to go. Hythe left side goes in. They're going to call the foul on Blair Green as Sabrina Haines came over to help and take it away in the backside. But so that foul on the floor and just the second team foul. So under basket with 5 seconds to play. Moore from the elbow knocks down the short jumper.
Execution there for it.
And the Cats can't get the shot off to end the quarter, but a good quarter for Kentucky as the first half of that belonged to Charlotte, but Kentucky came on strong after a big timeout, Christy.
Well, yeah, and then here, this play, Sabrina Haines dumping it off to Kentucky. How about that? I'm sure that's what a lot of folks could have predicted they would see out of Emma King when they saw her play as a 5th grader.
Yep.
Coaching, helping coach my daughter's 5th grade basketball team.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. You can start to see it's a real age where they start to really understand things. You know, they really start, the game starts to make sense to them. What you're teaching them and telling them starts to make a little bit of sense. So it's kind of coming together a little bit for them. Actually, hey, how about this, Jeff? I scrimmaged with them last night.
How'd you do?
I did great, actually. Blocked a couple shots. Yeah, blocked a couple shots.
Long three is no good in the corner. Wyatt with the rebound. That's fun. It's so much fun teaching at that young age.
Yeah, well, and especially when you can teach them something that works. Like last night, we were just working on a pick and roll. How does that work? And then when you get into the flow of the game, really finding the place for it. And what's great is watching that work when it actually works, and they sort of light up. Yeah, okay, this can actually help us score points. This makes sense.
Well, the Cats missed their first couple shots, but still play defense. Ryan Howard takes that pass out of the air, knocks it over to Blair Green. Another turnover. 18 now for Charlotte. So 29 points is the second most this year in a quarter. They had 31 in the quarter versus middle. Howard there, that short jumper. So 24 points now for Howard. Nice game. She's been a little quiet here in the second half. That jumper's no good, but she gets yet another rebound, and off her hands it goes, but it was knocked away by Linney. 8 of 14 from the field, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds for Howard.
Those rebounding stats are what I love for Ryan Howard, because those will pop up when you least expect it. You kind of look at the stat sheet and you go, oh, well, look at Ryan Howard. She's got 6, 7, 8 rebounds. That just goes to show you that she is so willing to work at it.
Haines made the fake and then stepped to her left and fired up the three. Height fouled her, so she'll go to the free throw line for 3 free throws. And this is something she has worked on a lot. She says she's better than a 60% free throw shooter.
Oh, no doubt. No question about that. She is
one of the better looking shots of the team.
Oh, yeah. This, as I mentioned in the first half, Matthew Mitchell said, if you want to know how to shoot and look at a textbook form when shooting, you look at Sabrina Haines. And this is nothing more
gets in your head, doesn't
than a mental situation for her, and she will work through it. There's no doubt about that. Exactly right. She's better than that, and she'll get there.
Phoenix, Arizona. It's about 84 degrees out there today. 40-degree difference.
Sounds pretty good.
One and two, and see if she can make it 2 out of 3 for her troubles. That one's a little hard. Kentucky looks like they're back in a 2-3 zone now. Nope. Boy, nice play there by Blair Green. She rebound tipped it out. Roper tips it over to Haines. She's really good with the basketball in her hands, isn't she?
Oh, no doubt. And
weaving her way in and out of
and
training.
does such a great job of keeping her eyes up, having a great visual.
Blair Green loads up from 3 and gets it to fall.
Boy, that died on the rim, didn't it?
It looks like it hit the side of the back of the rim, and it just killed the spin on the ball, and then it just dropped right in. I wish my putts would do that. So 5 now for Green. A short jumper falls in for Sierra, freshman. McCullough goes 6'2". She gives Coach Karras some size. Out of Opelika, Alabama. Howard, she'll fire one up from 3. That's just a little flat. Blair Green will load up again from 3, and she can't get the roll, but
there's that rebounding I'm talking about. Right now, my goodness, she does it all. I mean, she's a player that doesn't care to get into the mix and do whatever it takes for her team. So you're going to load up the stat sheet with all the things.
26 and 6.
All the things.
Boy, McCullough, nice find here late in the game as she gets her first playing time. She's made 2 quick baskets. The 6'2" freshman, averaging 2 points a game.
What a golly, it's that turn.
Body control, wow. Just amazing what Howard can do. She's now 9 of 16 for the floor.
Watch here, her dribbling at the top of the key. She gets screened, but there's 3 players defending her. There are 3 players that try to converge on Ryan Howard, but she is so quick and she just splits the defenders with that fast as she turned. It was that turn and that quick step that got her to the basket. My goodness.
So her first amazing 29 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 6 rebounds. Really nice game for Ryan Howard. We told you about her before the game started. She was one to watch.
She was a little quiet as the season got started. With our first couple of games that we did, Jeff, she really kind of, you know, quiet. By quiet, we mean, okay, she comes in with 14 points, 16 points, which I think tells you exactly where all of our expectations are for Ryan Howard and what she's capable of. But all of that felt relatively quiet for her.
Yep.
And now we're seeing her really start to push this thing to another level.
Took a shot there, and you see her taking her second. But, Christy, I got to ask you this, too. She played a lot of basketball in the offseason. She was on the under-18 national team. She got to go over to Europe. How much does that take away? Season starts. You know what I mean? Does she hit a wall maybe a little bit or what?
You know, I don't know that necessarily is the case, because even if you're not playing like that, trust me when I tell you, every single one of these young women was working out over the summer. They were in the weight room. They're conditioning. There is no off time, you know, so you can't afford it. So, you know, I think maybe, yeah, there's always a time in a basketball season where you get a second win and a third win. Yeah, but you know, I think early on it was just a matter of her kind of settling into expectations, perhaps, you know, and really understand she's going to take a lot on. She is not a player that shies away from that, doesn't mind that at all. But sometimes it's a matter of sort of settling into new teammates and new rotations, and how is all that going to work together. And I think all of those things are now being figured out, and now what you're seeing is a situation where Ryan Howard could very well to average 20 points a night rather than averaging 14 points a night.
Well, Matthew Mitchell, even though his team's up by 36 points, still coaching and upset that Blair Green threw that last ball away, or going to take it away. Thought he had something perfect, so Blair Green will. Boy, she just cannot buy a bucket, can she? All around the rim. She was such a good shooter in high school. 5 points for her. Deep three, no good. And there's that long rebound to Lemmy. She puts it up. She's short. Another rebound. We'll play some volleyball on a hard fall. On her back is Pascal as she hit hard when she came down.
She did.
Right on her elbow, I think it was.
You can hear her hit the deck from here.
You okay? Let's stay in.
It's one of those when you can't really get your hands underneath you and kind of takes your breath away as Ryan Howard taps her on the back of the head.
Here's another look. Yeah, nothing to catch her fall there. Just need a second to get over that one. EC schedule. This is week in and week out. They are playing some of the best teams in the country, and there is just no time to let up. No off nights in the SEC.
Nene Cole in the game, 44, right at the free throw line.
And what you just saw, that schedule that you just saw, is exactly why in a game like this, you keep pushing and you keep executing. And if you need to press and sort of work out some kinks and fine-tune some things, then you do it. And again, it's not because you're trying to be a sore winner and you're trying to beat a team by 90, but it's because you have things you need to work on. You have things that you really need to focus on and get fixed before you get into a gauntlet like that you're going to, it's every Sunday and Thursday.
And the other thing too, Christy, you can't keep throwing the life vest or life preserver out there for players. You've got to battle through, because when you play South Carolina, when you play the Tennessees of the world, it's a 40-minute battle, and you can't just play 20 minutes.
That's
you
right.
To finish strong.
Yeah, that's right. There's a level of focus that you have to maintain, and that's a word that Matthew Mitchell uses a lot. 2 words, focus and effort, are words he uses a lot. And, I think that's really crucial as this team turns its attention to SEC play, into a really big game, big rivalry game with Louisville.
So Green lost that ball and just rolled right out of bounds. Charlotte with this press. Kentucky beats it easily. Pascal coming up the court. Oh, nice.
Good take. Great hesitation.
Again, can't finish at the rim.
She may have been fouled there on that one. I think everybody was a little surprised she didn't get that one.
Koenig's long 3. Good as she is in the game, too. It's
For 2 seconds.
Yep.
Boy, she didn't waste any time, did she? Went straight for it.
Now Haines finally says, yeah, finally called one. Yeah, Koenig came in firing.
Oh, yeah, she did. I like it.
Sabrina Haines,
Haines back to the free throw line. Koenig's in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sabrina is 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Now she's 2 for 4.
One of few players on this roster that you'll see not hailing from the state of South Carolina. Charlotte really doing a nice job of trying to keep players in that general area close to home. Charlotte, they got North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Virginia, really trying to keep players from the South in the South. That Pittsburgh pop-in is very noticeable on that roster.
Green spots up from 3, and that's hard off the glass. And again, this shows her basketball IQ as she gets in position for the rebound. Fouled again as Roper by Green. She'll go to the free throw line. Roper 8 points on the game, 2 of 6 in the field, including the 3-pointer.
We got Memorial Coliseum hopping today with women's basketball, but it'll be loaded up with NCAA volleyball this weekend as the Cats are hosting volleyball. That's always exciting. Craig Skinner has done a great job in Kentucky here.
Another top 10 regular season finish.
SEC champions. Remarkable what he's been able to do.
Well, he's got one player that everybody knows.
SEC Player of the Year, Leah Edmond.
Dad is the strength coach at the University of Kentucky for the football team. And on Saturday, you'd think he'd be getting ready for a huge game, Kentucky and Louisville, but instead he was over here for senior day, right? To watch his daughter.
He was doing both, wasn't he? I
Yeah.
think he was talking to athletics director Mitch Barnhart about how they were making it possible for him to do both. It's crazy. What a crazy schedule that was.
But still, I mean, you, as a coach, you lose so much. Don't get to do so many things with your
That's
children.
right.
And here's an opportunity that Coach Stoops and Mitch made for him to be able to see his daughter play in her final home match.
Needed to be here with her for the senior day festivities. Yeah, it was great.
And she brought out a guy that's pretty familiar to Kentucky fans as well. My friend Nick Richards, who's having a great start to the season for the men's basketball team.
Yes.
They are the talk of campus, those two. Emma King spots up 3 and knocks it down. Boy, she can't
Oh, man, and I'm telling you, you give her some daylight, she is an exceptional shooter.
Don't leave that young lady open.
No.
Her first bucket of the game for Emma. More Howard will try to match that three with one of her own and misses badly off the top of the glass. Pulls it back down. No shot clock. Reset. And Green dribbles that one right off her thigh. Out of bounds it goes. So another turnover. 20 now for Charlotte.
Well, where we've seen Charlotte have the most success, again, is when they have been able to get out and push the tempo and score quickly early in the shot clock. And Kentucky credit their defense for really limiting what Charlotte's been able to do, because they've struggled mightily in the half-court set and turned the ball over. Speaking of,
I was just getting ready to say.
Inexplicable turnovers.
Yep. So Pascal again knocks that one away. But Kentucky's got 9 steals. They have forced 20 turnovers. Just a couple of blocks.
21 points off those turnovers, too, is really significant.
Making another turnover all the way into the back court. What is she going to call?
We're calling a
pointed Kentucky
foul
basketball.
On somebody. Okay.
Call that a push on McCullough?
Yes.
So it'll stay Kentucky basketball.
Well, credit Nene Cole for being in the passing lane, having a hand in the passing lane, knocking the ball away, and then just getting after it. That is effort that we talked about, that when they go back and watch film, they're going to love that. Seeing that with a minute and some change on the clock left in a game where you're dominating, but you're still playing hard.
Haines in the corner, knocks down another three. The Wildcats now of 21 from beyond the arc. Wow. 47% from three-point line today. Baseline drive caught off by Cole, and they called Haines, knocked that one out of the hands of Maddie Moore, so it'll stay there. Basketball, 20 seconds. Reset shot clock. Three is no good. Pascal, rebound. So about a 4.5 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Stay off the sideline for the double team. Hayes fires off a three. That's short. Rebounded by Nene Cole, and she puts it in. So the Wildcats are going to go to 8-0 on the season with a performance here. The first quarter does Charlotte in as Kentucky hits them for 29 points, Christy.
Well, Kentucky had a few lulls in that game that they really fought through and were able to get some great offensive execution, but this was Kentucky all the way right out of the gate. It started with Ryan Howard knocking down a three-pointer in that opening